Good afternoon, Mr. Stevens here. In your biology class, let's talk about characteristics of living things. Not everything in this world is alive. We're going to have certainly non-living material. This stick here, not alive. My glasses, not alive. They're made out of atoms. Well, I'm made out of atoms. But I'm living, they are not. Living things pass a certain standard of qualities. These qualities are as follows. All living things have an internal organization. When we find something alive, we're going to find cells, and then we find those cells make tissues, and then those tissues make organs, and then those organs work together to make organ systems. This is how living things are organized. Of course, they're going to be unicellular, but that's the threshold for life. If there's life, then there's cells present. Remember that? It's a maxim. Can't go wrong. True, false, if life cells are present. Metabolism. Some people would like to say, I have a high metabolism, therefore you can eat all you want. Some people have a low metabolism. They have very little energy. But listen, metabolism is the chemical reactions that provide the energy. You're going through chemical reactions and you're providing energy. All living things do this. Energy provides the power to do the work to maintain organization. Well, without organization, without the internal organization, you would not be alive. All chemicals must come from the environment. Keep that in mind as you think about your environment. There are healthier environments that you put your body through, and so whatever resources you need to maintain your life, you must get them from your environment. Responsiveness and control. There's going to be changes in the environment. There's no doubt about it. Your body or a living thing must be able to control itself to respond to the changes in the environment. So there's going to be stimuli, and then there's going to be a response. An efficient organism under control will use less energy reacting to the changes and therefore be better suited for life. All living things will reproduce. You'll end up with more cells. Sometimes you make a brand new cell. Just want to mention there's two types of reproduction. There's what's known as sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. When you compare and contrast a little bit, with the sexual you have two parents involved. With the asexual, it's one parent involved. You add more cells to your body asexually. Under sexual, there will be a need for the organism to produce sex cells. A sex cell is different than a body cell. We'll get into that later when it comes down to the DNA involved. In asexual, there are no sex cells. Which brings up a pretty important point. Who's got a better advantage of maintaining a population of individuals over time? It is believed to be the sexual side because of the genetic variety occurs in a greater spectrum. You'll have greater genetic variety. Therefore, as the environment changes, there will be some in your population that will have an advantage. Under asexual, very little genetic variety. It is expected that the genes and the chromosome and the DNA will be identical, but you will have some mutations at that level, but they don't occur as fast, and those changes will occur, but not as fast as when you have sexual reproduction. Another important characteristic of living things would be evolution. Evolution in the scientific sense is stated as changes that occur. They favor those individuals that can better metabolize, respond, and reproduce. So if you're better at getting energy, you've got an advantage over your members of your same species. Responding and reproducing, You are the one that will be around to populate the future generations. So we do know we have a changing environment. And different strategies for this metabolize, respond, and reproduce will be incorporated because of the different genetic varieties. And some individuals will have an advantage to populate the future generations of the species. So over time, species change, and the environment's kind of pushing them. It's kind of pushing them. Remember, where there were once deserts, it was underwater at some point. You know, we're going to have rising seas. We've got temperatures now that are the highest in recorded history. We have melting snow caps. We have an additional carbon dioxide content in the atmosphere. So we find that these changes in the environment, where we must go to get all our resources for life, are changing. And some in the variety will have a better opportunity. Next, all living things grow and develop. Now, we grow by adding more cells. We add cells, become big. You know, we were yay big, and now we're 5'10", almost 6 foot. Our cells didn't get bigger. The cells didn't get bigger. They just added more cells. And as you add those cells, you do it asexually, so they are genetically alike. And then the developed part, our cells over time start to specialize to do these different tasks. Things like puberty. You know, you develop so that you are able to sexually reproduce, but that's after, you know, that's in your teenage years. So the specialization has occurred. So all living things will grow and develop. Next, very important here, all living things transfer energy between themselves and the environment. Where do I get my energy? I get it from food. And food, be it chicken or be it lettuce, I've got to go to these other organisms to get my energy. I'm heterotrophic, different feeder. Ultimately, I will have to end up eating an autotroph or a self-feeder, or, you know, kind of photosynthesizer, which you would call plants. Be it through the chicken. I mean, I may let the chicken eat the plant, and then I eat the chicken, but where'd the chicken get its energy? I got it from the plant, and I get my energy from the chicken. Or maybe I go straight and eat the lettuce, eat the corn. Food chains and food webs. Beautiful diagrams that show position in the feeding line. It will all start off with solar energy. The solar energy comes from outside our whole environment, enters our environment, and that energy is captured and transformed into, there it is, chemical energy. And the chemical energy then builds these molecules that are larger and have bonds. We take them in. We have systems that can then deliver them to our cells, and our cells get fed due to these larger molecules. And what we do, we break down the molecules. We don't break down the atoms, we break down the molecules. We are searching out the bonds between the atoms. Thank you very much.